Cheech! We're live, dude. This is how we start, Cheech.
Hey, we're
This is how we
live.
start?
Brad, why are you racing?
I don't know.
Live.
I'm
Hey,
waiting for you. You know, you're.
I know you're trying out. I know you're right now trying out Joey's Outlaw Drag monster truck race that's happening tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Brad's gonna be in it. But now we got a show to do, Brad.
Okay.
Right now we gotta do what we gotta do. So let's go. Let's go.
Hey,
Come on.
hey! I got to beat John Zimmer Jr., man, and I also got to beat
And
Drew.
just to let
So
you know, Brad, we are actually going this way live.
we are live, everybody. Welcome to a new episode of Crush This Live. It's going to be a good one. We got the Norman Brothers on this episode today. As Cheech did say, if I'm looking over here, I'm looking at my second monitor. I'm going to be racing in the virtual Outlaw Monster Truck Drags tonight. I'm excited. It was supposed to happen last night, but some stuff went on, so it's happening tonight. After this, go check it out. But
Also, Brad, go ahead, and I'm gonna just let everyone know. You be reading the comments. I have my cell phone on. I just moved to a new place, guys. Back in Thomasboro. Hey, Dad, what's going on?
oh, Cheech just left. Okay, I don't know what happened there. You got me. So might as well. I look like Jim Kohler. Okay. Well, might as well bring him in. The Norman Brothers.
What's up?
Hey.
What's going on, guys? Cheech somehow left, so I guess he might have pressed the wrong button.
That's
But,
right. We don't need him anyways.
Oh, he's back. Cheech is back.
Just kidding.
Cheech, there you are. He's loading. I see
He's a
the
circle.
logo.
He's loading.
He's a
He's
circle.
loading. What did you do?
I hit on my cell phone. I hit the backspace button and it kicked me out.
Oh God, dang it!
see, you missed.
I don't know how it works. I'm used to the computer. So anyway, I'm not gonna be reading comments because I can't, read the comments obviously because I just screwed up my whole cell phone.
I'll be the one reading the comments and such. We already got two there that say I look like Jim Kohler right now. So I'm like, okay.
I was about to ask for your autograph there, Jim.
Yeah! Where's my Mountain Dew?
Fun fact: I was a huge Jim Kohler fan, and actually, in the 11th grade, I made him a custom Mountain Dew label. It's called Jimmy Dew. I swear.
Did you rip it
I
in front of
swear. Yep.
Oh
And I have
my
a crew shirt from him that he signed, and it's like my precious treasured elements.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
not a
you?
picture.
Welcome to MTV Cribs. I'm Philip Norman.
This is my crew shirt. Jimmy
This is my
Kohler.
shirt.
This is
My crew shirt.
the three monster truck drivers. I've known to consume so much Mountain Dew. The most Mountain Dew really is Jim Kohler, Tom Mentz, and Mike Miller, the other Bigfoot driver. He drinks Mountain Dew like crazy.
Oh, I will say that about Mike. I met him last year here in Grand Prairie, and I kid you not, he had a case of Dew in the trailer.
Oh yeah, yep.
Tom
Uh-huh.
Mentz woke up in the morning with a glass of Mountain Dew. Hey, Copeland, get me my glass of Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was in Paxton, he had Mountain Dew a lot, and I think one time he snuck Mountain Dew over Europe. Someone was telling me that. I was like, yeah, I would do it.
There's a cooler.
I feel like Tom would be the guy from Trailer Park Boys. Julian would have the Mountain Dew in his hand and not, he would let go. Like,
Yes.
Wait for it. You just mentioned Trailer Park Boys. I gotta do it. From parts unknown, it's the Green Master.
Oh,
Actually-
I didn't know we were doing bubble suppressions. Oh damn.
Well, I
It's a
have.
pretty nice damn.
Well,
Hey, Phil. There's a pretty nice damn kitty right there.
Pretty nice damn kitty there.
Ricky,
Frickin'.
Julian, I'm all tangled up with the fire.
See, have you guys watched Letterkenny though?
oh,
Yes.
bits and parts. Yes,
See
bits and
that
parts.
show there was another show in Canada called Corner Gas. It was kind of like a small town kind of show where it was like a lot of comedy and stuff.
Very nice.
That's like if you mixed Trailer Park Boys and Corner Gas, you get
Oh
Letterkenny.
my gosh, yeah. I love
So who do
Letterkenny.
you like in wrestling? Who'd you bang? Alexa Bliss? Yeah.
I love Letterkenny. The other day,
The other day. Oh God.
What's new, guys? How's life been since the world shut down?
It's
People get back, the world shut down.
yeah, it's been interesting. The most recent new thing, Phil got me hooked on Rick and Morty. You know, when you binge watch things, you know, like when, you know, I'm not gonna lie, the last 2 months or so, from I'd say middle of March, I've done pretty much not much of anything, obviously, because there's no monster truck shows going on, you know, for obvious reasons. And I was just like, you know what, 10 years of monster trucks, you know, I've lost a lot of sleep, so I think I'm just gonna gain all that back. So I would just like sleep half the day away, and then maybe wake up at like, I don't know, noon or 1 o'clock and go, oh, what do you want to do today, Christian? Well, I don't know. Nothing really. Like, it's just kind of like hang out. So. But now,
Morty.
now we're like,
Morty.
now we're down in Tallahassee right now, and you know, obviously since there's no monster trucks going on, so and it's storming out right now, storming Normans, of course. You know, I mean, it's just how it's got to be, Phil. I mean, and that's not the face of disappointment. It's the face of like, really, dude, really, Christian.
I was perfectly fine with doing this inside. But he's like, let's go outside and do it.
Well, you know, I mean, why not? I mean, the weather's beautiful. It's perfect out.
I mean, like, I know we have the Storm and Norman tattoos. By the way, that's true. Me,
Yeah.
my brother, and people don't know out there, our half sister, we do have Storm and Norman tattoos. So,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah, we all have storm and Norman.
Phil, I love your impression of Christian. You look up in the air and go, Dorian, we're gonna go outside.
He could so impersonate me. You know, like,
It was
especially
funny
like
because he looked
You-
straight up. He's like,
this is my favorite Christian. Like, if you ever listen to Christian's interviews, whether it's on a commercial or especially like morning media, his go-to word, like, he'll sit up straight like this and he'll go, absolutely. Like, that's the thing, is absolutely. Oh yeah. And his number
so here's the question.
yes.
Here's a question, Christian.
all right.
That when CBS or the Hot Wheels live thing filmed you and Darren and the guys driving your truck, did you guys try to do any acting teaching or anything like that whatsoever?
Like
Or,
acting teaching? No, nothing really. Just it was pretty much episode 4 of Crushing It. You can check it out on, if you go to HotWheelsMonsterTrucksLive.com, you can check it out and go to like the Crushing It link and just type in whatever episode you want. They did a whole thing
Yeah.
on Bigfoot in the background. It's pretty cool. But yeah, it's episode 4, and Tommy Kane, he's super talented. And it was, you know, Dan Runte and I were to teach him how to drive Hot Wheels Racing #1, and it was pretty cool. But no, there wasn't any like acting or like as far as like, you know, trying to teach anybody how to act. No, it was just like, let's just have fun with this. Let's do this, you know. And it was really cool, you know. I mean, obviously, you know, there's, you know, you don't want to just like go on a whim and get off subject, you know. So, but it was awesome. It was a blast. I mean, Tommy is super cool too.
I don't think an Oscar is coming your way there. So,
Hey, who plays in The Revenant?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, hey, Leonardo DiCaprio went through all those movies and didn't get an Emmy until he played The Revenant.
Yeah, ain't that some crap?
Yeah,
Like, imagine being Leonardo, like, doing all, like, the Titanic, freaking
Gilbert
Inception,
Grape.
Gilbert Grape, all of them, and just being like, oh yeah, by the way, for playing a almost half dead guy killed by a bear, you get the Emmy.
yeah.
Like,
yeah,
That's
my
funny.
grandfather told me all Titanic is a ship coming out of the water and saving people. If you play it backwards.
I think The Revenant was actually filmed here in Alberta, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought it was
Hawaii,
Montana. It
dumb.
looked like Montana, but it's believable, man. Like, it was cold, man. Like,
Have you seen this show called Yellowstone?
I
Yes,
haven't seen
yeah.
that yet.
no, I haven't
Not
seen
yet,
it.
I haven't
No.
seen it.
That's
Yeah.
pretty. It's Kevin Costner. It's freaking epic.
Actually, There's a rock band here in Canada called the Headstones. The lead singer actually plays a character in that show. I've actually seen the Headstones here live in Grand Prairie, which was actually really cool. But speaking of music, I want to talk with Christian about one thing: your drumming videos.
Oh yeah.
Playing old Rush songs. Neil Peart is a god for drummers, and
Yes.
he recently passed away this last year, and that it really devastated myself. And I know you. I want to pick your brain about that, because how do you? Oh God, shut up, Cheech. It's been a long day. How do you just randomly I'm gonna play this song, or do you think of oh, what song do I want to try this time?
Yeah, so first of all, I'm so happy that you pronounce his name correct. It's Peart, right?
Yes.
Peart.
I get pissed off at people about this. I will cut a bitch because of this. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
It's Neil Peart, not Pert, you dumbasses.
Right. What hooked me was that when I was a kid, I would be in the dad would be driving around town or doing errands and stuff, and Tom Sawyer would come on, and the first time I ever heard Rush or Tom Sawyer, I was like, dang, Dad, how many drummers does this band have? It's oh, it's just that one guy. I'm like, holy crap. So that's what got me hooked, and I don't know, I just had a knack for it. I just loved to do it, and I just kind of evolved over time, and I was in band in high school all the way till my sophomore year, but then I stopped because I played football in my junior and senior year, so I didn't, obviously it was either that or band, so, but as far as your question about do you just say, hey, I'm going to play this song, it's pretty much I got a whole song list on Spotify. I'm like, I think I could play that song. Yeah, that sounds like a fun song to play. And I just I'll just zone in on say Open Secrets by Rush, or Time Stands Still, or even especially Free Will. Free Will is definitely one of my favorite all-time songs, next to Battleborn by Five Finger Death Punch.
Okay, what do you think is the most underrated Rush song?
Oh my gosh, there's so many.
I have to say Force 10. Force 10 is such an underrated song.
That's definitely one of them. Tai Shan, nobody
I
really
was
hears
just about to
about.
say that.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much every single one of them really, touches your soul somehow, some way, and whatever, stuff like that. But yeah, I was really sad when I heard, of all the things, he's a genius, and he has a humongous brain, and he gets brain cancer. What the heck,
I know. We got some questions here.
Yeah,
We have some answers.
We have some answers.
One from Mr. John Seasock.
Oh, man!
Oh, John!
Who takes you for the best pizza on the road?
John. That was some good pizza. He took us to a pizza place.
Yes, coal fire.
And it was
Coal fire pizza.
they have a coal mine or a coal mountain behind the pizza place, and literally just go out there, shovel up, and throw it into their fire pit or their oven. And I took one bite, and it was you ever seen the movie Ratatouille?
Yep.
When the guy bites into it, and he goes back to childhood. That was that with that pizza. Just zoop. Oh man.
Another one is from Mr. Nick Davis, Back Channel Productions. He said the best Christian Norman interview was when Cheech stole Tim Howard's mic at Lima.
Oh yeah, that was
I don't even
fun.
know what I asked.
It was just so random. It was just we
I was
just
trying to make it really random.
It was probably something about eggnog sucking and stuff like that.
Bro.
No,
Bro.
It was
This is okay, number one, let me tell you something, okay? This eggnog war has been going on for 3 or 4 years.
How did
Okay,
that start, I wonder.
it started with Cheech. It's
That's right. It did
so
start
many-
with Cheech, didn't it?
because Cheech just thought out of nowhere, I've never met anyone that was just I hate eggnog.
Yeah, because Cheech used to rent out. Rent my house. Rented a room in my house when I had a house in Bradenton, Florida, and he's he opens the fridge and he's like, "Ew, really?" I said, "We're what?" eggnog, seriously? You like eggnog? We're like, yeah, it's like the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Teacher's like, no way, man, that stuff's disgusting. I'm like, well, screw you, buddy. It's like the best thing in the world. You know?
And by the way, Cheech, thanks for ruining the garbage disposal with your fish rocks.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah, thanks, by the way. Yeah.
So here's a Cheech story for you.
That's what you get for giving me eggnog.
So here's a Cheech story for you. So Cheech calls me. I was on the road somewhere, and Cheech was home, and he goes, "Christian, I've been home for like 2 weeks, and I really want like a pet or something. I mean, like, can I just have like I don't know, a dog or a cat or a ferret or anything like that, you know?" And I'm like, "No, man, we can't do that, man. You're on the road too. I mean, you can't just like leave a pet alone, you know, and nobody takes care of it." "Well, I mean, I could maybe call somebody and take it. The people that you call are on the road too."
Yeah.
So he's like, "All right, fine, I guess, you know." So I'm like, "All right, well, sorry, Cheech. I'd love a pet too, but it just can't happen, you know." So I get home one day, and there's a freaking fish tank in the kitchen, just out of the blue, and I'm like, "Cheech, what the hell?" But I said that to myself because Cheech was on the road, and of course I'm taking care of the fish or whatever, you know. So anyway, fast forward to like Cheech moving out. I was on the road, and I come back, and the fish tank was gone and all that, and the garbage disposal wasn't working. I'm like, what the heck, you know? So like I look underneath it, and I'm sorry, Scott, that was
Smith.
Yeah, Scott Smith,
Oh,
who
boy.
was renting from me as well. He's like, "Hey man, what's the deal with all these? Like, there's like a lot of these little aqua-colored pebbles in the garbage disposal." I'm like, "Cheech, really?" Dude?
Oh,
I don't think I don't. I don't
You
think
poured
I
the
dumped
fish
all of them
pebbles
there.
down in
It
the
was all collected. I know I didn't dump them because I put it in a black bag and I carried it. I think it was all collected. One thing also I have to know is Walmart fish suck. And then like 2 weeks, they only have like a 2-week lifespan. I thought
Pretty
they
much.
lived forever, and instead they're floating upside down. I'm reading everything about how you put the bag in the water, and so they like warm up and get used to it. I'm like, okay, so I dump it in there, you know, did the thing, and you know, like, the suckerfish lasts for 2 weeks, and they croak. The goldfish is like 2 days, and they croak. And, like, I'm reading up on it, and someone put on like online saying, you know, like, you're an idiot for buying fish from Walmart. Well, I looked in the mirror and I called myself an idiot. So, and then I got rid of the I think I gave the aquarium the too tall. I don't know what the hell he did it. But
Yeah,
the blue rocks, I think it was just because I was trying to, I think it all collected inside the thing, but I didn't dump it all. That'd be a dick move. That's like putting sugar in a gas tank.
hey guys, just quickly 1 second. I just got a text from a certain somebody. Brendan Culpepper, happy birthday, buddy! I had to give you a shout out.
Birthday, buddy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He
Happy
just
birthday.
shot me a text, so I wanted to give him a good old happy birthday. And
Yeah, there, bud.
and oh, okay. Are you seriously gonna bust out the Canadian accent now?
Yeah, there, bud.
Oh yeah, there,
So,
bud. Just
I
gonna
have
go
no
for a
story.
ripper there, bud.
Now, Brad, I have another story. Me and Phil, me and Phil were going to the place called the Dallas Bowl,
Oh,
Okay.
and Christian hangs out with Jimmy Creedon or whoever he's driving. I'm living out my dream, and
Oh, yeah, I wasn't here for that. Yeah, I was somewhere on the road.
so Phil bought some eggnog ice cream, and he's like, I was like, we gotta settle this, and Phil's like, you know what? If I beat you in a game of pool, you have to eat this eggnog ice cream. The problem was that we had to figure out something for him to eat because both of us hate the same thing except for eggnog.
yeah.
We were naming stuff like lima beans. I hate it. Me too.
Ah,
And we spent like 2 hours beforehand trying to figure out what he needed to do because I hated it too. So it was just like, oh, okay. So we got there and we started playing pool and stuff like that. And we played like 3 games. I lost, and I did try a bite of ice cream. That was the last time I ever tasted eggnog, and it's the last time I ever tasted eggnog.
See,
again.
okay. I tried eggnog this last Christmas. Okay, I gave it a shot again. because as I get older, my taste buds have been changing. You know, I can drink beer now without gagging. Like when I was 18, I couldn't even touch the damn stuff. I hated beer because of how bitter it was. But even eggnog, even with like any alcohol, I can't do. I even tried my favorite whiskey, couldn't do it. The reason why I hate eggnog is the nutmeg. I can't do it. The thickness of eggnog sucks even still, but just the nutmeg flavor, I can't do. It's like, no. My body rejects it.
Yeah, here's the thing about it all is you either love it or hate it. There's like no in between, you know? Like there's no like, I might have a sip or two of it. Yeah, it's just you like it or you don't.
I found out, Christian, there's people that don't like it. There's people that do like it. But there's also that gray area where they don't drink it unless it has booze in it.
You know what? You're right. You are right because I guess there is that allotment of that one little thing that gets people to change their minds about it. So I guess maybe they can wean themselves on it. You know? I don't know.
Well, I like my eggnog like I like my girls.
Oh God! Just the way you said thick. Thick. Okay. I'll ask this one. So before we got in there, you mentioned Tim Hortons, and I'm starting to ask this question: Dunkin' Donuts or Tim Hortons?
Tim Hortons.
Yes.
Tim's. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like Dunkin' Donuts is like it's still good. Like I'm not gonna not like Dunkin' Donuts, but like
the only problem is Phil. The only problem is, Phil, if you say that in near New England, there's gonna be a fight.
Yeah. Dunkin' Donuts.
I don't care if you like the Patriots.
I do love the Patriots
on Dunkin'.
Yeah, see, there's a Dunkies in every 2 miles in New England. There's a Dunkies.
It's Dunks.
Yeah, it's Dunks now. Yeah.
That's like liquor stores here in where I live. Every corner has a liquor store, or now a pot shop. I think it was in Calgary that weekend that we went to Tim Hortons every single morning. I think it was.
My go-to drink, I will always get it, is the white chocolate hot chocolate. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah. See, I'm not much of a coffee drinker, but I don't mind a good old double from time to time.
And like, here's the thing too about Tim Hortons is like the Tim Hortons in America, it does not taste the same. Like it just
really.
I don't know what it is. I cannot put my finger on it, but like there's one in Ohio. There's one Michigan.
Yeah, Ohio, Michigan, and New York.
Some
places in New York.
But it's just like it just has that different taste, and I don't know what it is or why, but like everything is just different, and it's like it's actually like I will take a Canadian Tim Hortons over Dunkin' Donuts, but I'll take a Dunkin' Donuts over an American Tim Hortons.
You know what we put in
guys
it, right?
Want to go get some Dunkin'?
You know what you put in the cups. We just put crack in the cups.
It's gotta be.
That's what Phil said too. Like they have to put something.
I got some Canadian friends that like we met in 2016, and she snuck me some Baileys to put in my Tim Hortons, and it was like. Nice.
But see, there's an emerging kind of competitor to that, which is McDonald's here in Canada. McDonald's actually has really good coffee now too, because I guess they got the old contract for the coffee grounds and stuff.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that'll be interesting.
I can get McDonald's here in America.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, it's like, but like, Philip and I always have the same reaction. Like when we're driving down the road, like in Canada, and like we see a Timmy's, we're just like, oh my God. Timmy's, we gotta go.
Cheech.
I will say, okay, no joke. I didn't even think about that. High octane coffee is actually really good.
Yes,
not to deny that.
It is. Yeah, Joey's got it.
I don't have a bag of it, but I have my other Crush This Crew shirt. I'm getting the other ones in, but high octane coffee.
Nice. And by the way, I don't know if Joey Sylvester will watch this or not, but like he did an amazing job on that truck. Like.
Very nice piece.
Very nice piece. And like there's a shop in Ohio, Youngstown.
Yeah, we went to the one in Youngstown.
Yeah, they offer milkshake, like it's like a milkshake coffee thing, and I'm like, oh God, that's awesome.
Yeah. And like he's got like I there's like different milks you can choose from. It's like a cotton candy flavored milk, and I know it's like some people are like, oh, but it's actually kind of cool. It's really good. So, but he improvises like that, and I mean, Joey's a good businessman. He's got the right thing going on. So, props to him, big time.
So let's talk about kind of the season that you had, Christian, in Hot Wheels Racing #1. That partnership between Hot Wheels and Bigfoot and such. Talk about how everything kind of went. The first when you transitioned into that truck.
Yeah. So obviously Hot Wheels Racing 1. It's no secret. It's out of the Bigfoot camp. And when it started, it was unprecedented. That's like the big word. These days, unprecedented. But it really was. We went down to the show in South Texas for its opening show. You guys.
Well, no, I'm sorry, but Chitra's making me die laughing, sliding the high octane coffee thing across the screen.
So. But it really evolved into what it is now, because it was a brand new tour, brand spanking new, and it was like, all right, let's do this, and it was really cool because the very first show, everybody was helping out. We were all putting up banners, we were all sweeping the floor. I mean, there wasn't like a that's not my job kind of attitude, I mean, heck, Ken Nowitzki and Freddie, I mean, they sweep the floors between shows. I mean, they don't have that attitude. Nobody has the attitude of like, whatever, I'm not going to help him over there. It's like, it's legit. I mean, it's a legit family-based thing. And nobody is a number. Everybody's a human being there. And that's one of the things that I love about it, And I get a lot of people that come up to me in the autograph line and the crash zone or in the post-show autograph sessions that are like, I'm so glad you guys have cars to crush. This is so cool, And I mean, I love it too, because seriously, in my opinion, I may be old school and all that, it's no secret, but monster trucks are meant to crush cars.
Yes.
If not mistaken. I mean, if I want to, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's super talented to see, a driver control a truck, whether on its nose or doing the walk, the moonwalk or whatever. I mean, do not get me wrong. I think that is an amazing job in control from any driver that can do that. But me personally, if I wanted to see that, I'll go to like a little, those when people take their motorcycles and do that around a parking lot. I think that's a little bit more cooler than. I mean, that's what they're supposed to do. But heck, I just. I don't know. It's just not me. You know what I mean? It's just I think monster trucks are supposed to crush and destroy, not stand on their tippy toes and stuff like that. But again, not taking it away from anybody that can do that. I mean, that's just an amazing talent that any driver can do. But that's just my opinion. That's really just me. But Hot Wheels, it really has grown into something that's pretty. I mean, Hot Wheels is a household name as is. And now we're, second year into it. I mean, I'm getting messages from all kinds of fans. Look at all the Hot Wheels monster trucks I got now in my collection. All you guys. All the 6 monster trucks in the show, and it's so cool. And now, Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live is overseas now. I mean, we're across the pond. Rebecca Schnell did awesome, and the other Hot Wheels Racing #1 truck with when she went over there with her husband Darren, and that was a really cool tour to watch and see unfold, and everybody out there did a fantastic job. But no, really, it's such a cool show to be at. I mean, it definitely is probably the most family friendly monster truck show I've ever been to. I mean, it's for pretty much all ages, because the kids love it from 3 to 12, and the parents love it because their kids are having fun, and sometimes the parents are more excited than the kids when they come up to me, and they're just like in awe. And, a lot of them have never been to a monster truck show. So it's cool to introduce it to them as well. But man, it really is a very well put together show. Nothing's fake about it. Nothing is, like, well, you do this and you do that over there. No, it's just, you do the best you can and have fun. and put on the best show that you possibly can for all these fans. So that's what I mean. Me personally, that's what I really one of the very or a few of the many things I love about the tour.
See, I'm just real like you were saying about like trucks crushing actual cars. It brings me back to the Throwdown show here in Grand Prairie that I got to see you at for the second time when you were driving Bounty Hunter. I think that was like 3 car stacks in total. I think that event was.
Yeah, that was when I that was my rookie year driving Jimmy Cretin's Bounty Hunter. I was teamed up with Mike Christensen. He was driving Iron Outlaw. Him and I we had a good thing going. I mean, Mikey's he's so much fun to be around and teamed up with, and he I remember we went up to Grand Prairie, Alberta, and that was my first ever Throwdown show was for Elliott, and that was a lot of fun, because it was a very small venue. Obviously, it's a hockey rink, but you did what you could, but it was fun regardless. And I remember, I'll never forget. After that, Grand Prairie, Alberta, we had to go all the way down to Kansas, and then all the way up to New Brunswick for the next weekend of shows, and it was just like. We were so tired by the end of that weekend.
See, I remember wheeling myself around in the wheelchair in the pit party because I had a broken ankle. I was like, "Hey, what's up, Christian?"
I'm like, what the heck happened to you, dude?
And I remember even Ken Nowitzki. Shout out to Kenny. He actually shouted me out sitting in like the kind of priority seating. I was in.
Yeah, I think that's awesome.
see, at least I didn't have to fall over a hockey dasher at that show, so I'm happy.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
it's so special, Bradley.
I mean, Nowitzki is like probably, definitely, I would say the top 3 monster truck announcers of all time. I mean, me personally. I mean, he's just got it down. I mean, even myself, I'll be strapped in, Hot Wheels Racing 1, and I can see him at the other end, in a safety hold. And, sometimes things happen on the fly, and sometimes I don't know how he does it, but, he just adjusts. And whatever, say if there's a truck that can't start, there's been, obviously it happens. They're monster trucks or machines, and sometimes, things quit or parts break, And he just, he moves around and he helps, the show just keep flowing and keep going. And, that's pretty hard to do. I mean, really, that's mad respect for any monster truck announcer. I mean, it's pretty tough.
Yeah, I speaking about announcers, my last tour with Monster Jam, when I was crewing for Randy Brown, and I was teamed up with it was me, Randy Brown, Cam McQueen, Michael Brister, and Fry Daddy, Chris Fryman, and we were the Forgotten Tour, which is there's only two Feld trucks and the rest are all independent, which is the best tour to be on, by the way. If you're a Feld employee and work for the company, just try to get on the Forgotten Tour. Anyways, so my favorite announcer story is on my tour. Caitlin Mingus was doing they were doing pre-show interviews, and the announcer, I forgot her name, and I can see her in my head. It starts with the A. And I'm sorry if I forgot her name, but
she's probably fired.
Anyways, what's that?
So she's probably let go already.
That's another story. All right, that's another. Anyways, so it was so funny because this little girl, Kaylin, sat next to this little girl, and you could tell she was just freaking out because she is a huge Kaylin Mingus fan, and the announcer girl was like, "So, what do you think of Kaylin Mingus sitting right next to you?" And she's like, "Oh my God, this is so great. Oh my God, I don't know what to say. Oh my God, this is so great." And Kaylin's like, "Yeah." And it was just so funny, just this girl just freak out, just oh my God, this is so cool. Oh my God.
So we're gonna switch gears from Hot Wheels Racing Bigfoot's Bite to over to Wicked. Phil, last year in the summertime, you get to do what you planned on doing, which a lot of people always had dreams of, was you get to do what your brother did and drive a monster truck. One show that I was there was pretty cool for me thinking, because it was like the first weekend ever that both of you got to drive a monster truck, even though there were
Yeah.
2 different shows. And the weekend I was with Christian, I got yelled at, and then the weekend that crazy shenanigans. But anyway, that later that week, well, actually the day after, we saw you at Crown Point. Was it Crown
Yeah, it was
Point?
Crown Point, Indiana. Yep.
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 And we saw you run Wicked when actually it was crazy because BJ did the best video ever. on
Oh
Instagram
my god,
with
that
the-
was so awesome. Like I loved it because
Alright,
like
no.
yeah.
Or Al, no, little boy. Is.
Because
But-
like
How
Go
did
ahead.
that? Okay, let's go start that. I mean, the story behind that, but let's go and what got you finally into a seat of a truck? I know you left Foot, but what got you committed and drive the Wicked truck for the summer?
well actually it's so funny how just the chain of events that happened. Like when I left Bigfoot, I kind of had a come to Jesus meeting that I was like, I won't probably drive a monster truck, and if I do, it might be like one time, and so but like when I left Bigfoot, I came down to work to do AC work and just to kind of start a new adventure and start something new. And Mike Christensen was getting married to his now wife Wendy, and he wanted me to come up to the wedding so bad, and I wanted to be there for him too because I mean Mike is a really, really good friend of mine, and I just didn't have the funds to get up there. So I asked him, I was like, dude, how about I work for you for the summer, and that way I can make your wedding and I can just work for you. And he's like, that's not a bad idea. And then he didn't have a spot for me, but he said, but my dad, Craig, is looking for someone to help out for the summer. And I was like, can I get some seat time? He's like, oh, you'll get some seat time. I was like, yes. So I was like, all right, sweet, man. So like I just decided thank God for Shane Freed, he gave me a spot, and he definitely understood. Is like, I'm glad that I got to, he there wasn't a bridge burned, and like I'm glad that he let me go to chase that dream, and like it's awesome for him. And so basically I got to the wedding, and like I know Craig, I've known Craig, since I was a fan, and when he worked when he drove Max D and Feld, like I was hired his last year of Feld, so like he knew me, and it's like, I mean, I saw him in Australia when I went to Australia, and anyway, so it was just a nice transition of like, hey, you know me, I know you. And it's kind of funny, like I got a buddy of mine called me to come to the oil fields, and I was like, shoot, man, that is really good money, but like I just gotta do this, I just gotta get this out of my system. And by the way, I will say, if you do have a dream of driving a monster truck, like, accomplish it. Like, I don't care if it's one show. I don't care if you suck. I don't care if you think you're the greatest thing ever. Just
Yes.
accomplish it, because like the weight will come out of you. And so like anyway, so I crewed for Craig, and I crewed for his Australian friend Michael Stratty, and like because Michael Stratty comes over, for free, or not free, but he pays his way over. But like he'll have some fun with Craig and kind of see the US or whatever. And so when he left, Craig put me in a show, and my first show was Juliet, which is a huge show. Like it's like a stadium, man.
Trial by fire.
And like I feel like I can read people very well, and poor Elliot, Elliot was like, so this is your first show? Like he had that Bible, like, I'm happy for you, but god dang it, I don't want to rook at my show. Like I just I was like, part of me was like, I don't care, I'm gonna drive a monster truck.
It wasn't even like off of the fryer and out of the frying pan and into the fire. It was like out of the packaging and like right down to the fire.
Chicken nuggets. So anyways, so like, and not a lot of people know this, but I actually almost rolled in intros. So because like I'm getting ready, like I'm sitting in the truck, and like just the weight of finally just being able to say like, I'm doing it. I am here. Like 7 years of just hard work and just long nights, early mornings. It just all just disappeared, and it was just like, this is finally worth it.
This is Phil. This is Phil. Holy shit! What the hell did I just do?
So like, and like the thing about like, and like Craig Christensen stuff, like, you know, I'm actually kind of glad I gained some weight, because like his seat fit me perfectly. So like, and like it was like a perfect snug fit of just everything. So it was just, you know, it was actually kind of just nice. And anyway, so like, but like once I was buckled in, like I cannot get out. Like it was just like, okay. And so like we start going in. I'm following Brandon Budd, and like I can't see a thing. Like it is so dusty, I can't see anything. And like I'm just following Brandon Budd because I have no idea what I'm doing. And so like, and like I'm driving, and like last second I see the ramp, and like luckily I just like hit it, but I was like, oh God, what was that? Oh my God! Oh my God! And like I still drove. I was like, that was the scariest thing in my life. And so like we did the show, and like my goal was like, I want to crush. Like my life goal was to crush an RV. I was like, I don't care. I want an RV in my life. It's like I had to crush an RV, and like I'm not gonna lie. Looking at the video, I'm just like, oh God. What a terrible driver I am. But like, I mean, first show, stadium, like, you know, I thought I did pretty good. Like, I mean, you know, yeah, whatever. But like, it's kind of funny at the end of the show, the guy that owns the stadium or whoever, he's like, you didn't do so well out there. I was like, this is my first time driving. He goes, oh, well, you know. Well, you're okay then. You don't suck too bad.
It's like he comes up to you and is like, hey, you know, you suck pretty bad out there, man. Is everything okay? That was my first show. Oh, well, in that case.
Oh, yeah. Well, because you suck so bad, you're okay. And so, like, the next day was Crown Point, and that's where Christian and my dad and Cheech came out, and even Aaron Kane. Like, it was awesome. Like, I just felt so supported and so loved. and so you know, everyone all day, like, because I guess the night prior, like, I thought I was getting around the track. Like, I was like, all right, I'm driving really fast. I'm going fast. I'm Ricky Bobby. And then you watch the video, you're like, oh man, you need to pick it up, buddy. And so all day, everyone was like, you need to go faster, man. Just when you go around, you just gotta hit faster. You just gotta go faster. So I was like, okay. And so we do the intros, and we come back, and like I'm up for wheelies, and so Craig was like, hey, you know, for wheelies, just practice like you're racing. I was like, okay, whatever. So I come out the pits, and all day I heard was go faster. So I kind of just like judged a little bit, and I was like, all right, this is where I'm about to turn. I'm at it. And I just threw to the second, just and like I saw the ramp, I let up, and as soon as I hit the ramp, got back in it, and I just sailed it, man. Oh, and the other thing that went through my mind was, I'm pretty high up. I hope I don't hit nothing.
It's like that thing where it's like, you're probably wondering how I got in this position right now. Well,
dude, see, because here's I'll, before Phil goes on, I want to, share with you my point of view on this. And he's totally right, because like, here's what's similar about Philip and I starting to drive monster truck. Like, my first show was in Corinth, Mississippi, driving Knucklehead, and my freestyle. I mean, there's two misconceptions that drivers that you have as driving a monster truck for the first time. First is, wow, did you see how high I was, man? I hit that jump so hard. And you're like, no, dude, you barely got off the ground. You know? The other one is you think you're absolutely flying down the track, but you're really not, because you're higher up, you're high off the ground, and you got a lot of motor behind you. So you're thinking you're just driving like a bat out of hell all around the court. But you look at the video and you're like, dude, really? Seriously? No. So that's what happened with Phil as well. Philip and I had the same conception of like, man, I was going fast, but really we weren't, you know. So, you know, like Mikey Waters Jr. says this all the time. If you think you're going fast, go faster, you know. So, but Philip, you know, everybody was like, all right, Joliet, you did the jumps well. I mean, he really did. He carried the jumps like beautifully. He smashed the camper. Like, honestly, it looked like a pro was doing it. But yes, of course, you know. But you know, but like, you know, I remember that day. Everybody was like, "Yeah, man, you just got to get more ground speed," and they were like just pounding it into his head, like, "Dude, you got to get more ground speed, man, more ground speed." So Phil was like, "Fine." So I'm on top of this hill behind the trucks, and they test Phil. You know, or Kraken went out and did his thing, and then it's Phil's turn. So they fired him up, tested him. He fired up again. I see him come out on the floor, nice and slow, and he lines up. And where I was, he was driving away from me. So all of a sudden, I see him just, and the whole time I'm like, oh my God! And he just, it was literally like sail, and he just. But he landed perfectly. Like it was a perfectly executed jump. Like it was huge, but it was perfectly executed. I mean, he had the you know the throttle rhythm in the air, rum, 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 you know, landed perfectly. But then,
so then, not only did I sail the truck, but I also yard sailed it too. I felt so bad, like, because I turned around and like they shut me off. So I was like, oh, geez, what happened? And like they picked me up, and like the water pump fell off, the knuckle, like the bolts between the knuckle and the housing split. So like I didn't break a housing, but I stripped the holes out.
the threading.
Oh man, like I thought Craig Christensen was gonna fire me. Like I thought, like, this is it, I'm going home. All right, this was fun, thank you. So like luckily we fixed it for the next day, and like we got it back out for the next day. And like the best part of the story is like, you know, the next day we're thrashing on it, getting ready, and like we see the back of the truck sagging, and so we gas the shocks, and you know, still sagging. So we take one shock off, and it's missing half the oil. So that's nice. So put oil in it, do our thing, and then the next shock had no oil in it. So like I pretty much sent that truck with no oil in the shocks.
Okay,
Six
I
working shocks on the truck.
I think I know what happened. As soon as you put that helmet on, you turned into Dennis Anderson.
Oh no!
Coming out of the pits, 1-2 shift.
But it really was such a proud moment for me, you know, because like, you know, heck, Philip and I were, you know, 12 years ago, we were just fans in the stands, you know what I mean? And now I get to see him just, I mean, Phil and I both spent 7 years of just working hard at it, and late nights, and just our whole bodies would be sore the next day from running and thrashing, and just like sometimes you think, oh my God, is this driving thing even worth it? But it really is. Like you said, like once you get in the driver's seat, you fire that truck up, and you're like, holy crap, this is why I worked all that much and it's such a, and by the way, it's such a better feeling when you work all that time, whether it's even just a year of working on monster trucks, when rather than just giving the keys to a monster truck, like, hey, you want to drive? Here you go. Like, you know, it's much more of a sentimental, deeper feeling when you work for it. And you're like, wow, I earned this. You know, like this right here is what I worked so hard for. And, you know, so that's what I think and maybe this is old school Christian talking here, but me personally, like, I think we should really get back to, you know, like at least having a year of crewing on a truck to really know the truck and to work your way around it and to move up from the bottom up, not just send an email in and just be like, hey, you gonna drive a monster truck? Sure, go ahead. You know, it's just like so like it's so flat. You know what I mean? There's no like pride to it. You know, it's just like, cool, I'll drive a monster truck. You know, and I don't know. It just, me personally, that's just my opinion, obviously. You know, but you know, a lot of the fans that I talk to at shows, they say, hey man, I want to drive a monster truck. What do I got to do? I'll do anything to drive a monster truck. This is my dream. You know. And I just tell them, like, start from the bottom up. Just start, like, putting up volunteer time at a local show, like sweep the floors, get a shovel and dig some holes, whatever, put up the banners, clean the bleachers, whatever you can do to just get your foot wet in the door. And that way, you know, the ins and outs of everything. So when you get to that point of being a monster truck driver for whatever team it is, you know how much effort was put into putting the show on, number one, and you know everything, the ins and outs of the whole entire business. And it's I don't know, it's just one of those things that just it makes you a better person in the industry, really, you know, instead of just some freshie that just, you know, gets handed the keys and just go ahead and drive a monster truck. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't knock on them, but me personally, I think we should start getting back to that, you know, because, you know, heck, growing up, Philip and I, we would watch monster trucks on TV, and the message was always, you work hard and dream big and you'll get to be where I'm at, you know. And now these days it's like, yeah, send an email and I'll see if I want to hire you to be a monster truck driver. It's like, you know what I mean? So there's just much more sentimental value to working your way up. And I mean, heck, Ryan Anderson and Adam, they worked a year on monster trucks before driving.
Like Adam even worked more than just a year.
Yeah, Adam was even more than just a year. And look at them. They're like some of the most talented drivers in all of history, you know, I mean, in my opinion. You know, and if you work on the truck and you know what's underneath you, you're going to be a better driver. I'm not kidding you, man. I mean, if you just strap in and go, well, here it goes, you're not going to know that thing as well as you would if you worked on it for any length of period of time. So got to get your blood, sweat, and tears first and then get in it. Like Cheech, for example. Cheech has been working at monster trucks for, Cheech, right there. Yeah, you're right in the middle. He's been working his butt off, you know, since I've known him. I mean,
oh man, when I can't wait. Like Cheech, wherever you are, man, I want to see your first show. Like,
yeah.
Like you were there for me, I want to be there for you, and like I know you're gonna drive someday because like, I mean, especially that feeling that heavy in the back of you, just. So it's gonna happen, man, and you know, like I mean, to add on to Christian, and it's like, you know, all the best drivers, man, they were crew guys. I mean, Cody, BJ, you know, those guys, man, like those guys, they kept me, you know, motivated. And like, I mean, this guy kept me motivated too, but like those guys kept me motivated throughout those years to, you know, keep on going. And like, you know, it's like once I figured out that I was going to drive for Feld, you know, because like, hey, I'll be honest, we all have that dream of like when you get hired, it's like, man, I just want to drive. And like, then you kind of see their business model and like, okay, I guess I'm not going to live that dream to them. Doesn't mean I'm not going to live the dream somewhere else, you know.
And you got to find your niche and your program that works best for you. You know, like heck, before coming to Bigfoot, I crewed for Richie Blackburn, and then I went to Hall Brothers, and then I went to MJ, and then to War Wizard for just that for the 3 months, and then Jimmy Cretin for about 6 months or so, and then on to Bigfoot. So that's a lot of programs that, you know, worked sometimes, didn't work for me, but you know, you got to find your place in your I guess your comfortable niche and where you want to be, you know. And you know what, sometimes you might say, you know what, I'm burnt out, I just want to drive just to say I did it, you know what I mean, just to say I finally did it and put that belt on. And that's great, you know, and hey, you might want a career out of it. You never know. But the biggest thing I can tell you is that it can be taken away from you and it can be lost like that. I mean, literally, like, and you know, that's why you need to stay humble as a driver, as a monster truck driver, even a crew guy. You know, stay humble, make the sport better by being humble and not having this stuck up attitude of like, oh, look at me, you know, I'm a big bad monster truck driver, because it can literally be gone the next day or in an instant, you know. So you just got to stay humble and just enjoy every bit of it, you know, because, you know, there's just no more room for, you know, being, you know, big chested and stuck up and thinking that you're all that, you know. I mean, if that's the persona you want, I mean, have at it, but, you know, it just doesn't go nowhere, because, you know, ultimately the biggest thing in as a whole in monster trucks are the fans. You know, when I was a fan, when I was I'm still a fan, but when I was, walk into the pit party and I'd hold my, book up or toy or whatever, or collectible item to get it signed by a driver. If that driver was super nice, super cool, super fun, and just a human being, like I always remembered him, like Tony Farrell and Jim Kohler and Tom, like it's stuff like that sticks with you. But the drivers that I would go up to as a kid and they'd just be like, all right, give me your book, kid. There you go. You know what I mean? It just was like, really, dude, like, you were a hero of mine, not anymore, So just that little bit of, even if you're tired, even if you're sick, I mean, whatever. I mean, heck, I remember Chicago 2018 at the Hot Wheels Monster Trucks live show. I was sick with the flu, and it was with H1N1, and it was terrible. But, you gotta just pucker up, Buttercup, and be there for the fans, and because they don't know that they don't know that you're tired, they don't know that you're hurt or whatever, but or sore, I should say, not hurt but sore. You just gotta do it, because the fans are what is literally the bloodline of monster trucks, period.
I was just gonna say quickly, you were talking about guys, the guys that puff out their chests, that stupid snakebite driver, man. He's got such a cocky attitude about him.
I know, really. I mean, he's kind of mean too. You know what I mean? Like he's not the most intricate kind of guy. Whatever. Chris Copperhead.
There's only one driver that I cannot stand to this day, that I will never crew for him ever again, and he will never
Skeletor
ever. He drove Hot Wheels Racing 1.
Oh, I thought you were talking about somebody else. So.
His brother sucks. He doesn't even know how to work on monster truck.
Yeah. But one thing you guys were saying is like, still keeping that dream. I'm like probably the farthest away from driving a monster truck, at this point in my life, but I still have that dream, Like I've been able to accomplish dreams designing trucks and doing what I've been able to do with the podcast with Cheech, and I remember, I didn't want to I wanted a crew on a truck before I did anything. And, Darren Miguez gave me that opportunity a long time ago. Cheech. Got to get that plug in for High Octane Coffee. But I still have that dream. Even though I'm doing it virtually right now, I still have that dream of getting behind the wheel one day, and feeling what it's like to have 1,500 horsepower behind me and be able to hopefully pull off a wheelie better than Philip.
Probably will. Just don't destroy a truck like I did.
Well, here's a perspective for you. All right, check. So,
see, I'd probably just go over a hockey dasher like I did previous.
BJ had made the best video for me. That was so priceless.
Yes.
Floor it. No. Floor it now. No. Go ahead.
I need to see this video.
I love the kid at the end. Jesus Christ.
Literally everybody. But here's perspective for you, right? So Philip and I, we went to the Jacksonville Monster Truck Show back when we were kids. And that stadium holds about 80,000 people, so 80,000 people, right? So let's say that. Out of those 80,000 people, him and myself, and probably the Pagliarulo family too, because I'm sure they were there in Jacksonville, and maybe a select other few. Out of those 80,000 people, funneled down into getting a chance to have a monster truck career, or even work on a monster truck, or be a crew guy for it, or a crew chief, or even a driver for it. So you seriously cannot just say, well, whatever, there's no chance for me, there's no way I'm gonna ever drive a monster truck, you're just literally diluting yourself, and you're literally pulling yourself back, just because you might have any kind of condition, don't pull yourself back from accomplishing your goals and your dreams, so it's like, if somebody can walk on the moon, then you can sure as hell drive a monster truck. There's been plenty of times in my career where I just said, screw it, I don't want to do this no more. This is stupid. I'm so frustrated and there's time's running out. I'm just tired of all the politics and stuff like that, and you just gotta pucker up and say, you know what, I'm just gonna keep going. Someday this will pay off. And never would I have imagined where Philip and I could be in our monster truck career, but here we are. You know what I mean? Like, as a Bigfoot driver, it's such a huge honor. I mean, the first ever monster truck to exist, to kick things off. I mean, once you think monster trucks, you think Bigfoot, and then Philip getting to drive, it's like finally, like, we can say we can die happy men.
Yeah, like,
And the next guy out of us four is going to be this guy.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It's going to be that guy.
I just can't
He's
wait.
gonna do
like,
it.
I just want to be like talk to Tim Hall for me, because like I want to be on radio just to hear you go. Ah! What do I do? Ah!
First thing you do, Cheech, is back the truck in so you let the people in. Get back to the ride truck. All right.
All right. What you really do, Cheech, is when here's what I want you to do. All right. If, let's just say, for the sake of argument, your first show is Monster Jam, I want you to take whatever truck it is, Raminator, Remunition, Hot Seat, whatever it is. I want you to line up for that jump, and I want you to go back and back until you feel a bump, and then just go from first to second and close your eyes, and they have RIIs. I want to see what happens. Like, I want to be on radio for that. Like,
Yeah.
Like,
You know who else will be on the radio, Phil?
I want to be there. And like, just like I told Evan Trent, who is the son of Bob and Ann Trent, he is going to be the first guy to ever backflip Bigfoot 5. And if you don't know what Bigfoot 5 is the one with the huge tires. And Evan's going to backflip Bigfoot 5.
We'll put a Top Fuel motor in it,
Yep.
and it'll just do a backflip right in
Yep.
place.
I'm gonna get so rich, Cheech, that I want to put John Force's motor in a hot seat and just I want to see it. I just want to see what
And
you
then
got.
and then you'll have a slow motion camera, so when you hit that jump, it's gonna be like an Enya song, like. Dun, 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 dun.
See, okay, you guys are getting this all wrong. Not Bigfoot 4, or not Bigfoot 5, Bigfoot 4. Come on.
Yeah.
It's got to be Bigfoot 4.
Oh yeah. It's
See,
got
the
it.
thing is, Phil, I'll have Tim Hall on the radio too. And I think that day I'll probably get fired. So I'll just get out of the truck and just run.
It'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. Like, you can go down history, Cheech.
I'll get out of the truck and probably run out of the stadium. You imagine me just.
Yep.
See, I want all three of you guys to be on the radio whenever I would do it. That'd be hilarious.
There's gonna be a whole lot of geez, I don't know, geez.
No, see with Bradley, it's gonna be like, oh my God, this is so great. I'll be on the radio. Bradley, you haven't moved yet, buddy. You haven't gone anywhere.
Get out of
I'll be sitting there like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I'm going so fast. Brad, you haven't moved an inch.
You gotta start it up first, buddy.
I'm in there making noises. Pop, 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 pop.
This is so great. Oh my God. You gotta start it.
So one thing that as we start to wind down, because I actually got to get ready to race here soon. We had Matt Looker on the show a while back. I did kind of like a roundtable kind of last minute thing, and he was talking about pucker factor, kind of like a moment as a fan or a driver that kind of made you pucker, when you shouldn't have.
I got one.
Okay, Cheech, you go first.
Very first show in Columbus, Ohio. So we're going.
I
to
was just
Columbus,
about to say this.
and we're doing the show and stuff like that. And I think it was one Friday and two Saturday, and we're doing the Saturday show. Between the Saturday show, and Christian, I guess, was lifting the front end of Mohawk Warrior,
That was
and something
Oh,
happened.
yeah.
and the truck starts moving. Well, Christian thinks it's Hercules, and he's trying to stop the truck by himself.
Kept pushing the tire.
He almost got ran over by a monster truck. And I'm like, oh, that's a fuck up moment. That same show, another crew chief, a Monster Dalmatian, goes, okay, I'm gonna put fix the window. There's a window machine that works the dog pump that goes back and forth, and he's hooking it up. Well, he puts the wrong wires on and seizes the battery. The battery starts smoking. So the first time I ever climbed in a monster truck, acid smoke's coming out. I'm coughing. I just dropped. I'm like, I literally went from the cab drop. I felt like Damon Bradshaw. I felt like maybe I need to climb out of the window. And that was my butthole pucker of a moment, was that. But seeing Christian trying to stop a monster truck from moving was pretty fun.
Phil's reaction was the best because, like, I pushed it, but then I realized I ain't doing nothing. So I ran around to jump in. I put my hand on the brake pedal, but all the while Philip's going, here comes monster truck! Here comes monster truck! That's all I could think of. Was like, it wasn't, oh no, here comes the monster truck! And they're not, and like, it's because it was like, it was on the edge of the floor, so it was like the front tires were right on the the curvature of the dirt going onto the concrete. So like, as soon as you took it out of neutral, it would just want to come down. And if I didn't get the brake pedal, it would have like put everybody into the wall, and that would have been really bad. But I would say my butt pucker moment, I guess, was when I drove Knucklehead in Montreal. It was my first ever crash, and I was supposed to be. It was rookie deal. You know, it was my second ever show, right? No, third show ever, and it was a St. Louis, not Indianapolis style racing, I believe. When you go off the middle and you come down the end of the track, you run down the side of the track or the edge of the track, and then you do a U-E and then jump off the last jump there. And that jump was a little too steep, and I didn't check up as good as I should have, and I literally shot that truck to the moon. And I brake checked to try to get the front end down, but it didn't have enough wheel speed, so it just pitched like this to the entire time, and the rear tires hit the floor first, and it pitched the truck over, and it just dumped me right on the side. And that was, I would say, like, in that moment when I was in the air looking at the ceiling in a big huge arena, and it was like silence. And I'm like, oh shit. And then just like rear tires hit and then dumped me. And that was, I'd say, my biggest one.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of pucker moments, but
monster truck.
Here comes monster truck. But one that kind of was like, oh my god, is Christian. We were doing a car crush in Orange County, Virginia. And like these people, it was a cool car crush. Like
it was awesome.
It was like they had like, it was like a show, man. They had
we met our buddy Joey Sullivan. He's now family now.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the best ever. Yeah. So, anyways,
they had tons of cars, and they had a car stack, which is like, that's for a car crush. She should tell you that's actually pretty big for a car crush. And so Christian, and it was rainy and wet and blah blah.
They wanted all the cars too, remember?
Something like
Yeah, they were like, we got like 17 cars.
Yeah,
come on, you gotta crush them all. I was like, oh, all right.
And so Christian came up and like, Bigfoot tells you, just be safe, and like you can't have a rollover car crush. Like if you roll over a car crush, like
that's terrible.
That's bad news, man.
Yeah.
And so Christian came up on this car stack, and he just kind of like glided it, but like the tires slid off of it, and it just kind of like from where I was standing, like I was on the RI, and like he cased it and kind of like started tipping over, and I was like, woo!
Oh yeah,
you're so fired! And so like luckily he saved it, and there's just that like instant like, oh my god. And
yeah, I remember that. My god,
yeah.
It came up to the cars perfectly fine, but like at the last minute, because it rained so bad and everything was just super slick. I mean, was muddy. The cars were slippery, and I hit the front of the truck hit it, but then the rear tires, it hit and it just like moved over. So like the truck was half on, half off, and I'm like sitting in the truck like, oh my God, are you kidding me? And, like I had to kind of like wiggle it off, reverse, front, reverse, and then put it in, first, and then finally it got off of the cars. But yeah, that would have been just like oh my God, that was so stupid. You know what I mean? Like, come on, obviously it wasn't in danger of anybody except for my pride,
Yeah.
But I guess you got to get your stuff out of slippery situations. You get it.
My pucker factor was the first throwdown show I ever worked at. You had I don't know how to pronounce the last name, but Mitch Tulachka. I don't know, and you had his truck there, and he owned Robo Machine at the time as well. And it was wheelie contest, Robo Machine. I'm club help, right? And Christian, kind of like where that tunnel leading to like the show office in Grand Prairie was, right?
Yeah.
So I'm standing there, fire extinguisher right beside me, just in case if any shit goes down. So I'm standing there. Robo Machine goes up, hits the cars, starts turning like this. I'm like, oh no. It probably lands maybe like 20 feet away from where I was. That was my first ever, like, it might have been 20, 30 feet. Like, it felt a lot closer probably than what it was. I'm just like, oh God, this isn't good. This isn't good.
Man, here comes Robo Machine.
Like, I forget who drove it. Might have been Shane at the time. I'm not too sure. Because I believe Shane did drive Robo Machine at one point. But it was just like my first show working club, my first show working like at a, besides working on Darren's truck at the time, which I think he was partnered up with Matt Brokaw at the time. But it was like, oh God, did this just happen?
Yeah, that's the thing, like I'm so happy that myself personally, that I've got, I'm involved with a team that puts safety at the top of the list, like Bob Chandler, the OG, Bob Chandler, that's like his, like part of his life's work is to go to sleep every day knowing that, hey, we contributed it enough to have a safe show for the fans and competitors alike, so that's a biggie, you know what I mean? And obviously when you're throwing 10,000 pound machines in the air, a lot of things can go wrong, but there's a lot of things in place that can prevent those bad things from going wrong. So me personally, hats off to everybody. Marty Garza too, he's a big one that, really, and Tim Hall, there's a lot of pioneers in the sport that I have to thank that have put things in place in our industry that make sure that we all can go home safe and in one piece. So
I can tell you who probably is definitely his bronze is definitely defeat safety. Old Lurch.
Oh my God.
Lurch. We need to hear a Lurch story. Come on.
Oh man, if you don't know Lurch, anybody Lurch is a legend in Bigfoot.
Yes.
Ron Bachman. And if he could drive a monster truck without a seatbelt, I'm sure he would.
My favorite story of Lurch was so we're at the shop, and I had to replace a LED light on the side of my on the side of the trailer that carries the Bigfoot 18 around. And we have a basket where you can put on the forklift, and you get in the basket and you raise that person up, and you can get to whatever you need to get to up high. So Lurch is driving the forklift, and I'm in the basket, and he lifts me up, and I had to fix two lights on it. So he lifted me up to the first one, got it. And what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to go down first, then drive forward, and then lift up again. No, he just, as I'm like 20 feet in the air, he's just driving along, and I can feel the basket just like moving. I'm like white knuckling. I'm like, Lurch, hey, bring me down. He's looking at me, goes, "You're fine, goddammit. Come on, you're fine." And I'm like, holding on for dear life, and he's just rocking like this. I'm like, Lurch, come on, dude, put me down. He's like, you're fine, goddammit.
There was one time we were. Tim tells me the story all the time. Him and Lurch went to Waffle House, and he goes to the cash register, and he tells the lady, "I want my check." The lady gives Lurch a weird look, saying, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "I want my check." Well, the sign that's on the register says "Paychecks here." So Lurch is saying, "I want my check. I pay checks here. So where's my paycheck?" And they just started laughing about it and stuff like that. I thought that was very funny.
So,
Phil, you got a story. Come on.
yeah.
One of my favorite Lurch stories is I've been told I can do a pretty good impression of him. Just goddamn. Oh goddamn.
Yeah, that was his name.
No,
OGD.
Oh goddamn. And so my favorite Lurch stories that he told me was Lurch always loved messing with highway or the
DOT.
DOT. There you go. He'd be like, he'd get pulled over, or they'd ask him, "Where'd you come from?" "That road right there."
Oh God! Oh
What
God!
state? They'd ask him, "What state you coming in?" "This one."
Oh God! Oh God!
And I think he fooled me and Cheech to get him a pretzel one time, because like he was like, every time I go to the place, they never have pretzels. They never have pretzels. So me and Cheech would go up and get him a pretzel, and he'd come back like, "Oh, you found a pretzel."
Yeah, like
Yeah,
we were in Casper, Wyoming, and for a toughest monster truck show, and he goes, before the show even starts, he goes, "I don't care, when I'm hungry, I'm gonna go up and get a pretzel." I was like, "Oh, okay, whatever, Lurch," And like we just got done with racing, and there he is sitting on a chair with a pretzel in his hand, eating away. I was like, "You really did want to get a pretzel?" He's like, "I told you."
yeah, he tricked me, and I went to get a pretzel, and I got myself a pretzel, but it was like he tricked me and Phil. He's like, "I need to get a pretzel." I don't have any pretzels here.
Yeah.
Like, makes us go on a search for a pretzel, and
Yeah.
then I always took a picture, no matter where I was at, a pretzel. And I actually, this first quarter, I went everywhere I went. I had a pretzel. I took a picture of it.
Yeah,
cool.
That's awesome. Heck, we were heading to Beaumont, Texas one time. I was in my rig and with Phil, and he was driving with Larry Swim in the other Bigfoot semi. And
That's the pretzel thing.
Yeah, well, he was way ahead of me going down there. He took a wrong turn in Texas somewhere, and he was like an hour ahead of us or so. But he put him like an hour and a half behind. So we got to the venue first, because the whole way down, we're like, "I'm gonna beat you there. I'm gonna make sure I get there before you." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, Lurch, whatever, like I'm sure you will, And then we get there, and they're not even there, and I'm like, "What the heck?" So like, Lurch rolls in, and I was like, "What happened, Lurch?" He goes, "Well, I gotta let you win at something this weekend, so I might as well do that." Well,
So-
appreciate that.
So, unfortunately, guys, we got to end it. I am sorry, but you got 20 minutes to spare until I got to go do the virtual thing. So, because the race was supposed to be yesterday, but it got pushed back until today. So, unfortunately, but we're gonna have to have you guys on again. This has to be a regular thing.
Anytime,
know.
man. Anytime.
It's a pleasure.
Anytime.
And if we do it a second time, I will drink a glass of eggnog on stream.
Yes.
Perfect.
I will do it. I will do it.
All right.
I promise
See you
you.
folks tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Hey, I'm off tomorrow, but I don't get paid until. But if there's one last, if there's, shut up, Cheech. If there's one last thing you guys would like to say to anybody out there, what would it be?
Put your underwear on the inside, not on the outside.
No, because Captain, what's
Underpants.
Yeah, Captain Underpants.
Tra-la-la!
Superman. All right. Just because Superman does it and I do it in the grocery store, It's a bad thing. Yeah.
What does your S stand for? Hope? Did your mom and dad bought the suit?
No, the S stands for super cool.
Soft.
Shithead.
But
Yeah, that's good.
I would say though, you know, for all
Don't do
the
drugs.
well, yeah, I mean, of course, it's a given, you know. But for anybody that's you know, that has big goals, big dreams about, you know, being in the industry, I definitely got to say, you know, it can happen. It can happen for you because, you know, Philip and I, you know, we didn't know anybody in the industry. I mean, offhand, it wasn't like we had a family member or a close friend that owned a monster truck and was just like brought into the sport, you know. So, but you just start from the bottom and just have patience and learn the entire industry from all the way through. I mean, because it you know, it just doesn't happen to just get handed, you know, just to be handed the keys and there you go, drive a monster truck, you know. And it really doesn't, you know. And you know, you'll have a lot of respect for the industry and the trucks as well if you just take that course and take that approach to everything and you know, stuff like that. So that would be my first of many tips, if you will. But also, everybody just stay safe and stay healthy through all this. You know, I mean, obviously, right now this is a common thing with you know, looking at the screens and stuff like that, looking at Cheech, you know, swiping his phone and stuff like that.
Grinder.
On Grindr. But you know, but just be good, stay healthy, and hopefully we'll see you back out on the track sometime when everything's gets back to normal. So back to Norman.
Yeah. You know, if I could say anything,
So we're done, guys. Bye.
the white man look, you know. But I just want to say thanks to, you know, give a shout out to my dad because, like, you know, my dad, you know, taking us in and, you know, taking us to shows and, you know, Cheech swiping on Grindr, you know, and but, you know, definitely don't forget where you came from.
I use your car a lot as my background pic.
It's a nice car. You know, it has a really nice. It's like it's. What's that?
I said definitely attracts gay people.
Wow. But
I think we're done here, Phil.
Yeah. See, my car, it looks like no one could deny. Like the color of it is just like so magnifique. But the grill,
like a cover or preparation H bottle.
Wow. Preparation H.
Oh God. So you can say his car's the shit then.
Hey, I like your thinking.
But it doesn't stink.
No, I put some, you know, some stuff on the, you know,
little Christmas
trees, you know, the black ice, you know.
Yeah, black ice.
Shout out the little trees, black ice.
Yeah. But like my car is like a really hot chick, but it's got a freaked up grill, so bumper, yeah, because it's got a low kit, so like every time you hit it like a curb or something, it's just.
Oh God!
Oh man, no. Looks good from afar, far from good.
well, thank you guys for coming on. It's been a blast. We're gonna be doing it again. You know, just want to give thanks to Joey Sylvester and High Octane Coffee, 6B Apparel. Cheech got his shirt this past week. I'm getting mine soon, my new one. Marty Garza, Nick Davis, and Backchannel Productions. Everyone that supports us, you know, thank you guys for all the love and support. And also
our new group. Also, before you go and sign off and get all happy over there with your steering wheel, Brad. Also, JB Scale Graphics that is part with that does RC designs and graphics. So the only group right now that could do officially licensed Bigfoot decals. So if you want, you gotta go through him if you want some Bigfoot stuff, RC-wise size. Same thing with Overkill and High Octane Coffee. I mean, Bad Habit and all those trucks. So they're on board with us too, and wanted to give a shout out to them too. So, Brad, do your little flippy thing, Mr. Instinct, Justin Timberlake looking mother crapper, and we'll go on from there.
Alrighty, guys. So once again, thank you everybody for joining us. Cheech will be putting up posts very soon to announce our next guest, which is an awesome one. I'm excited about this one. So, as we always say on Crush This Live, everybody, keep the rubber side down and the shiny side up. Peace.
Take off the books.
And broadcast.